Monster Hunter Wilds opens the door to a new frontier for returning fans of the franchise, as well as newcomers to the series. From high-flying to gritty, limb-slicing combat, Wilds has gone above and beyond from the previous entries in the series. You can now slice and dice monsters faster and more smoothly than ever before, and then wear your trophy around for all to see. Not only has the series gone through a major revamp with combat, but the visuals are absolutely stunning and the narrative speaks volumes. And let's not forget customization has never looked better when you're rocking your fur-covered kicks. Without further ado, let's break down Monster Hunter Wilds in this Game Sandwich review. A breathtaking forbidden land with lots of character. Monster Hunter games from our experience often feel slow. They tend to hold your hand through the beginning, making the games feel monotonous for the first several hours. And this exact issue almost made us give up on Monster Hunter World. But we are pleased to say this trend has been broken in Monster Hunter Wilds, as you embark into the windswept sands of the Forbidden Lands. Wilds opens you up to the world with intense action, something we didn't expect, and it thrust us quickly into combat against various beasts. And it did become pretty clear at the beginning that this wasn't the normal Monster Hunter we're used to, especially from World and Rise. It didn't take too long to meet the research team from the empathetic new handler Alma to the passionate smithy Gemma, and these are the two main characters you interact with throughout the campaign. More so than in other Monster Hunter titles, we found ourselves focusing on the campaign and getting pretty invested in its many characters. Before, it was easy to get frustrated with the story, thanks to a handler that would consistently get into trouble, forcing you into a situation where you needed to save them. Now the story has shifted to returning the lost boy named Nada to his people and saving the newfound ecosystem. And during our journey, we met many colorful side characters, from the enigmatic Werner, the honorable and inspired villager Yasai, and the bewildering Wud Rove. Each of these characters stood out with smaller side stories that made the campaign that much more enjoyable. And there wasn't a moment that we didn't enjoy watching the beautiful cutscenes, and we hung on to every word the large cast of characters spoke. Not only that, but the unique environments of the Forbidden Lands, along with different cultures living within them, made the stakes feel that much greater come the end of the campaign. Fierce combat, ferocious beasts, and lands to explore. What Monster Hunter has always excelled at is combat against giant foes that make you feel almost godlike with your abilities to slay them. The combat in Monster Hunter Wilds takes this to new heights, and that's to the point where we almost kept referring to it as Monster Hunter World on steroids. Capcom went above and beyond making sure combat felt smooth and that there's a wide range of options to choose from. Speaking of options in total, there are 14 weapons to choose from, with some being slightly similar to others, but most of them have unique movesets with multiple upgrade paths and slots to attach skill gems to. This adds a strong depth to the crafting system, but not enough that it would confuse the average player. The armor functions in a similar manner, where you can upgrade various pieces that you craft from hides of the beasts you've slain. Now there is a downside to this system, and to us it appears Capcom went out of their way to make sure the menu was confusing to navigate, and this is all with different sub-menus, which are required to learn more about the armor and weapons you crafted to the point where it feels unnecessary. After equipping myself with the latest and greatest monster hunting equipment, we set out into the field in search of behemoths to slay. And it doesn't take long to track down monsters, as you can freely explore the open biomes or simply ask Alma to give you a quest. Our go-to weapons of choice were the bow and the switch axe, though the charge blades was also a strong contender for our favorite weapon. And each of these weapons did have a unique playstyle to them that did feel pretty intuitive, that made the weapons greater the more you played around with combos and learned additional mechanics. No weapon that we tried felt overly complicated, and each one had its own special properties, which made it more difficult to decide what weapons to stick with. After experiencing the beta, we thought we were pretty prepared for the rest of the biomes in Monster Hunter Wilds, but we were taken aback by the level of details in each of the lands. From scorching deserts and magma-filled caverns to icy caves and lush forests. There's a little bit of everything to experience, and Capcom spared no expense, making each new biome better than the last. Every new location was a treat to experience, with tons of items to discover, plant life to collect, and to turn into useful items while hunting. And let's not forget, there's a lot of monsters to track down. Give me a better connection. The one area in Monster Hunter Wilds that failed to impress was the online mode. This is because the whole system feels so complicated. You first need to go through the process of adding a friend to your squad. And after all that, you're hit with a barrage of different invite types to play online in different ways. Jumping through these hoops ultimately makes the online feel annoying and less optimized than it should be. And it would feel nice to play online with a friend and not have to re-invite them after every fight, especially when there's a new cutscene. The whole system feels like it could be simplified, and it did turn us off from playing online mode. A better system that allows the entire squad to stick together and play through the campaign without all the breaks would have made the experience of playing with friends a whole lot better. At least this time, the campaign fights count for everyone who's involved, and you don't need to replay them. The final verdict. Capcom went above and beyond to make the most of the Monster Hunter Wilds experience as enjoyable as possible. We did go into this game wanting it to be a slight increase from Monster Hunter Worlds, and was surprised by the revamped weapons, environmental depth, and enjoyable cast of characters. And gone are the days wishing the handler would just get eaten by a Rathalos. Monster Hunter Wilds may have a few issues with online play and menu navigation, but they are outweighed by this addictive combat and customization system. And Aiden wanted to let you guys know that his Palico looks like a pretty dynamic warrior, and he couldn't be happier. But with all that being said, Game Sandwich would like to give Monster Hunter Wilds a 9 out of 10. And if you want more gaming content just like this, keep it locked to Game Sandwich for all your gaming news, rumors, and reviews. As of right now, I've been K-Lo, and we'll see you guys next time.